Hello everyone, Kangsto here. I am going to help you select a lightsaber off of ultrasabers.com. There's lots of places you can get your lightsabers, but this is probably the most cost effective, especially for your first one. And Ultra Sabers always has deals, and right now they're doing giveaways based on how much you buy. So if we get enough, then we'll be able to get some free lightsabers, and we'll do a little raffle to give those away to somebody. So maybe we'll walk away with 2 lightsabers then, huh? Alright, so let's get started. Let's go to build your own lightsaber and then go to single blade sabers. You have lots of choices, okay? And I'm just going to go over some basic choices. The truth is that a lot of these are not legal in our system because A, they're either too long, such as these. These are too long, alright? And then some of these here have horns or fins or claws on them, so that's illegal. This is illegal. Okay, that has like these big studs on them. All of these are going to damage other people's blades when they get when they strike the hilt here. And of course, in our system, if you break your blade, then you've committed a violation because you're hitting too hard. But it is not fair if your saber is basically designed to break other people's blades. So we can't allow those. All right. So I'm just going to go over the stuff that is for sure going to be legal in the system here. We'll go ahead and start back here around the Liberator and Prophecy area here. Okay, so pretty much everything from here and up is going to be legal. All right. I've never seen this saber before, so I'll have to take a look at these pieces here. So we'll have to check if those are legal or not. But I'm going to say probably not. So let's start maybe right about here then. Okay. Alright, so right around $85 here. We've got the standard issue battle saber, the Dominix, the Sentinel, the Apprentice. Everything here is going to be 12.5 inches or below, which is the maximum hilt length. Okay, and these generally don't have anything sticking out on them that's going to hurt other people's blades. Let's go for something that is going to be relatively inexpensive, but is also going to give you lots of options as well. And if you look at the Initiate series, V4, V3, or V2, all of these are going to be legal. And if you're wondering what we use in class, we use the Apprentice V4 right here. And let's go ahead and have a look at this one. It's at $65. Alright, and there's a couple options here, okay, and I'll walk you through them really fast. If you don't want to make any choices, then just click Express Checkout, and you'll just choose the color, and that's it. We're going to be going through the Stunt Saber setup. That is basically a saber that lights up, and that's it, nothing else. If you want to build your own saber, or you want to have Vic build the electronics for you, then you can select an empty saber hilt. So it'll be just this body with nothing inside. And Vickers or yourself can build out the electronics. All right. I don't know anything about that, so don't ask me. If you want a saber with basic sound, that means it'll make swooshes and clash sounds and stuff like that, then you can select this. If you want premium sound with your saber, then you can do this, and you'll be able to plug your saber into your computer and modify the sound effects by downloading or buying other sound effects. If you want to be able to change the colors on your saber, get an emerald saber. If you want to be able to, again, you'll plug that into your computer and adjust the colors. If you want an emerald saber with sound, then you can do that here. Or you can get a diamond saber, which is a fully controllable saber. You can control the sound effects and control the colors. All right. So obviously this is going to cost the most. So we'll just go ahead and go with Stunt Saber right here. All right. You can select your colors here. These are the cheap options. These are the middle options, and these are the try options. These colors are 3 times as bright because there's more LEDs inside. But they do eat up more battery power, so please be mindful of that. Alright, next. Now, this is the big important option. What kind of battery setup do you want? The standard battery setup is a AAA, as you can see right there. Okay, AAAs don't last real long. They do run a long time, but they lose their brightness over time, and so the actual time that they spend at maximum brightness is actually very short. So these kinds of battery setups are you're basically having to charge them all the time, or they're always getting quite dim actually. So I highly recommend using the lithium ion setup with a buck puck. A buck puck is a system that controls the battery power and makes sure that the battery is always putting out its maximum power to the LED, and therefore your saber is always at its maximum brightness until it's not. So basically it will be maximally bright for its entire lifespan, and then it'll instantly shut off. Okay, it doesn't get dim at all. It just shuts off right away as soon as it runs out of power. I do consider this the superior option, but it does cost more, and it does require you to use a lithium-ion battery, which is a AA size battery, but it is a lithium-ion. Okay, so it is not a normal battery. You have to use a lithium-ion battery, and then to charge it, you must use a lithium-ion battery charger. So you can't use a regular charger. If you do use a regular charger with a lithium-ion battery, then there's a possibility of explosion. So you have to make sure that you use this properly with the proper care. So I do recommend using the buck puck, and you can order it in 3 separate options. You can get a buck puck with batteries only, assuming you already have a lithium-ion charger. Remember, it has to be a lithium-ion charger. Or you can get you can get it with a lithium-ion charger, or you can get a high-quality lithium-ion charger with the batteries and the buck puck. And I do recommend the high-quality charger. It adds $50 overall to everything, but it charges 4 times as fast as the regular charger. The regular charger takes 8 hours to fully charge a pair of AA battery lithium ions, and so it kind of sucks if you're going into session and you forgot to charge your batteries. So I do highly recommend using the lithium plus charger. Okay, so that's $50. I'm going to go ahead and put this on, okay, so you'll be able to see how much you're ultimately going to spend for my recommended setup. Alright, so let's go next. And here you can select if you want a recharge port, so that will allow you to plug your saber into the wall and charge it. So you don't have to worry about pulling the saber out. You don't have to worry about chargers. You do have to buy a charger that will plug into the wall. Okay, so overall it will still cost more. But if you're afraid of using the wrong charger by accident, then and exploding, then just go with this option. You don't have to worry about it. But it does cost more. Okay. Personally, I don't consider it worth it, but it may be worth it to you. Okay. So that could be as much as $75 or $85 extra. All right. Let's go next. Here you're going to select a blade. None of these blades are legal in Lightspeed because they're too heavy. We consider them unsafe. But these blades do shine very nicely though, so they look really cool and they're really great for cosplay. So you can select one for yourself for just show purposes. If you want for self-defense purposes, you can get a heavy grade right there, and that is some serious business. Okay. The difference between a mid-grade and an ultra edge: mid-grade is a clear blade with cellophane inside. This produces a diffuse blade look. Okay. And whereas an ultra edge mid-grade is a solid opaque white blade, it produces a solid column of light rather than a diffuse column of light. So it just depends on how you want it to look. You can get short blades or long blades. So the longer they are, then the more they'll cost. Again, it doesn't matter for our system. If you want windows there to make extra light shine out, then that's an extra $5. Here they are with no windows. I'm going to go on with no windows. This is the pommel right there that holds your battery cage inside. And if you're getting a saber with sound, then you're going to get a type of pommel that has a hole in it for the sound to come out. Okay, so we're just going to assume no pommel, so no extra charges. Otherwise, they can add quite a bit onto the cost. Okay, this is another important decision to make. I consider the upgrade on this to be worthwhile. This is a guarded switch here. Okay, it's a wall of plastic that goes around the trigger that will ignite the saber. It helps prevent you from accidentally activating or deactivating your saber, and it also helps protect the switch. However, that wall itself is just a plastic, and it itself gets damaged and breaks off very commonly. So it's not great. Now, over here is what we call the AV, or the anti-vandal switch. It is made of aluminum, and it is actually inset into the saber itself. It doesn't stick out as much as this does. It helps prevent you from accidentally activating it, but is far, far more durable than this is, and it is an extra $15. I do recommend this upgrade. So that brings us up to $130. All right, you'll select whether you want a round tip or a pointed tip. That's a pointed tip there. Pointed tips are not legal in Lightspeed Saber. They're too dangerous. Again, though, you're not using these blades anyway in our system, so but I do recommend just going ahead and getting a round tip, unless you want a bullet tip for looks. Blade retention screw. It's a good idea to have one. Okay, this helps. This makes sure that you can take your saber in and out. Okay, meaning you can take your blade in and out of the saber. All right, it's only $1, so I would go ahead and add yourself one. And the blade plug. This is a little thing that goes into the hilt. So once you take the blade out, you can plug your blade. You can plug the plug into the emitter there, and that will allow you to light up your saber without blinding people. It also helps protect the LED and other electronics inside here. All right, I personally don't use one, but you know, if you only have one saber, then you may want to watch out for it. Here is a saber stand for an extra $15. These are just kind of 2 cheap pieces of plastic. I don't consider them worthwhile, so that is up to you, of course. Okay, I have a set actually, and that's why I know they're not really worth it, but it's up to you. A CoverTech clip. This allows you to wear the saber on your belt. So you'll put this piece onto your belt or or your costume or whatever you're wearing, and then that will attach to a CoverTech wheel, which goes onto the hilt itself, and then this will connect into that. Okay, then you'll be able to carry your lightsaber onto your belt. All right, and that is it, and that includes all the recommended upgrades that I prefer. So we're at 131 right now, and plus, I don't know, and then maybe an extra $5 for shipping once we all combine together. Then that will be at about $135, $136. Okay. If you take out all the upgrades, then I think you should go ahead and get yourself a retention piece there. Then you are probably going to be at about $66 plus 5, so $71 total. All right, so that is your cheapest option, but has a lot of choices for later. Okay, you can always get this upgraded later. It's going to cost you more overall, but upgrades are nice to do. If you still want to save more, then I would go ahead with the Initiate V2 option. This is a smaller saber. It's a little bit thinner. If you have smaller hands, this is actually a very good option. This is only at 9.5 inches long. It's not great for two-handing though because it's so short, but it's very fast and very light. Okay, and as you can see, there are not a lot of other options. And that's because it is so thin that it cannot fit a lithium-ion setup inside. So it can only use a AAA setup. So it cannot even be upgraded if you want. Okay, so but you can always get the higher colors if you want. As you can see here, there are no battery options. You can only use a AAA setup, and that is at $55 plus a retention key. That'll be $56 plus 5 is maybe $61. So expect to spend between $61 and I think it was $161 or so. That for total for a basic saber that is going to give you plenty of options. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will help you out as much as I can. Let's try to get an order in soon, and again, if we are able to get enough people on it, then we'll get some extras here, and we'll hold a raffle and give them away. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody, and I will see you later. Bye.